The largest high relief sculpture in the world, barring Mount Rushmore, is the Confederate Memorial Carving, which depicts three Confederate fighters of the Civil War: President Jefferson Davis, General Robert E. Lee, and Thomas J. Stonewall Jackson. The three sculptors worked on this were Gutzon Borglum, Augustin Lukeman, and Walker Kirkland Hancock, who would finally complete the memorial 1972. Over the years, the monument has become an iconic symbol and a point of historical reflection, steep in controversy. To see a timeline of events, I'm going to put this up on the screen. But just a general review, we're looking at 1916. The idea for the carving was first proposed. Gutzon Borglum, who created Mount Rushmore, would begin to work on the item. Now, he abandoned the project due to political disturbances and disputes. And in 28, Augustus Lukeman would precede him, but also would be unable to complete the work. Now, in 1941, all work on the monument ceased due to World War II, and Georgia stepped up in 1958, bought the surrounding land, and began recarving the sculpture in 1963. Now, in 1970, an iconic man by the name of Roy Faulkner would use torches to actually break the rock and carve it way quicker than the conventional tools that had ever been used before. And in 1972, as I said just a moment ago, the monument was officially dedicated. But something happened in 2001 that might have actually just protected this monument. And that is the state of Georgia issued a preservation and maintenance order. Now, this became controversial because of the filling of social groups. However, Georgia felt that the work and the effort of such an amazing historical work had to be preserved.
In the political bargain that came with changing the state flag came the legal stipulation that Confederate monuments in the state of Georgia, explicitly calling out Stone Mountain, could not be removed or altered in any way.
Now, this proved beneficial because of the last few administrations and their desires to remove lots of articles regarding the Civil War. Various historical conservation acts have safeguarded this particular monument, recognizing it as a cultural and historical important site. Now, the commemorative coin, as is all commemorative coins, was done to raise funds for the monument's completion. Now, the coin itself holds significant historical and numismatic value, but the coin is one of the most counterfeit in the entire series. Only one is more counterfeit than this particular coin, and that is the Panama Pacific set. Stone Mountain is nicely done. It's a very nicely designed coin. But again, the purpose was to honor the Confederate leaders that are depicted on the monument and raise money for the completion and construction. The coin was minted in 1925 and is currently celebrating 100 years now in 2025 since its original minting. The Stone Mountain half dollar had a total mintage, which was huge, 2.3 million coins. Now, there was strong support from President Calvin Coolidge, who passed a bill March 14th, 1924. Now, the bill almost didn't happen due to discrepancies around the design, but a quick letter, Calvin Coolidge jumped all over it, authorized the minting of up to 5 million coins. They didn't get 5 million. Actually, the 2.3 million ended up having almost 1 million of them returned and melted down. But still, you're in 1.3 million coins. Now, again, when you look at the design, you see the original designer, Gutzon Borglum, who was fired after many agreements. He was quite a disagreeable person, but still his heavily modified designs were eventually approved October 10th, 1924. Now you can see the reverse here, the feature of the stoic eagle perched on the rock surrounding by a multitude of text, and on the obverse, the famous Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson there on horseback. Above them, you have the In God We Trust And then you have Stone Mountain and the date, 1925. The half dollar was minted for only 1 year, but the minting was huge. And as I said, over 1 million coins were eventually released, with 1 million being sent back for destruction. Now, the highest auction price seen was in 2016, where an example sold for $15,000 in Mint State 68. Stone Mountain and its commemorative coin represent enormous aspects of American history and culture, and to this day continue to cause some uneasy feelings and mild animosity. Remember that these are reminders of a tumultuous past, but the coins symbolize something more than that: American heritage and the remembrance of the Civil War. Next week, we'll be talking about this coin right here, and this is the Fort Vancouver Centennial Half Dollar. Now, the obverse features the likeness of Dr. John McLaughlin, the builder of the fort, and the reverse features this full-figure frontiersman with a gun. I really like this coin. You see the mountain peak and that in the background, really neat. This is another fascinating commemorative coin designed by the amazing and talented Laura Garden Frazier. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Frostbyte. I hope you're enjoying this series. We're almost halfway through, and we got a long way to go. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you get notifications every Wednesday this videos come out. Make sure you're staying tuned for those. Go check out my shorts and watch me stop the deception as I try to bring you good quality information and point out deceptive AI videos that potentially would lead you astray. Again, smash that subscribe button, and you know what? I will see you in the streams. Take care.